Once again, welcome to the book with Susie. It's my delight knowing that you have remained true to the book with Susie or to our weekly appointment. My guest today has just published this amazing book titled Making Your Parents Proud. And believe me, everyone is scrambling for a copy. It is such an amazing piece of literature which helps to break barriers, achieve greatness, and of course enables us to honor our roots. Kwa Peters So, you're welcome.
Thank you, Madam Susie, for having me. Glad to be with you.
And of course, thank you for making available such an amazing piece of work that transforms life.
We thank God for the grace that He has given us to be able to pull through with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I believe that it is not just your passion for human resource development that pushed you to come up with this book, Making Your Parents Proud. There should be more behind this.
Yeah, definitely. It's not just my passion for human capacity development. The book came as a result of 8 years of experience talking to young people. And because of the so many questions I had young people asking, I thought it wise to document maybe answers that can answer those questions they've been asking. So beyond that, we get that.
Okay, you just launched this book. Can you tell me how the event was? Was it up to expectation?
The event was more than expectation. So some persons even came without being invited. Some persons even came just because they saw the advert going through, and because they really wanted to make their parents proud, they joined the launching, and it was top notch. I really just want to use this platform to thank all those who came, and the books we printed, there are still even some being printed now because the ones that were printed went out of stock.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, when I look at you, this is the second time I'm meeting you. And when I look at you, when I look at your energy, I have the impression that you've been able to make your parents proud. Can you tell us more?
Well, make my parents proud might be an overstatement, but making my parents proud, yeah, I think I'm trying my best to do that.
Okay, so what do you do concretely to make them proud?
Well, first of all, I believe that God had a reason for sending me to become their child.
Okay.
And because I'm the child, maybe in the global perspective, nobody really knows them. Now, it is my responsibility to be able to see how to push their name because I bear their name. Now, I just published the book, Making Your Parents Proud. It has my name and the name of my father. That should make him proud, that the son has been able to publish a book that is helping the world. And in view of that, I'm bent on probably discovering my purpose, laying hold of my potentialities to be able to push it out there so that I can be able to help the world. The more I get to help people realize themselves, become who they are supposed to be, affect their generation positively, I believe I'm making my parents proud.
That's good. Yeah. If someone picks up this book, what is he or she expecting to see?
Well, once you pick up that book, that as it is titled, Making Your Parents Proud, be ready to see to be ready to be confronted with facts that will push you to be able to do more than expected. Be able to see principles, strategies that can make you become more serious with your life. Yeah, because we live in a generation where we have a lot of people just living out of luck. Just living like, okay, whatever life brings for me today, I live with it. But that book challenges you to be able to, get up every day with a purpose. Pursue your life with an intention and be able to end with maybe a result that can make people proud of you.
Okay. Well, we're going to take our first break.
Okay.
And of course, it is titled The Forward. And we are glad to have someone talk about this book in a very special way. And that person is Dr. Javnui Jobert.
Yeah.
Okay. We shall be right back.
We are a generation that is so blessed. We are in a dispensation that is so blessed with a lot of resources. We have in this generation what our parents did not have decades ago, years ago. Years ago, there was no social media. There are many things we have today that did not exist years ago. Yet, despite all of these resources that can help a lot of young people to succeed in this generation, it is also a generation that comes with a lot of difficulties in terms of parenting, because it is also a very distracted generation, a very exposed generation. And parenting is a lot difficult than it used to be, decades ago. And this is where this book comes in, making your parents proud, because it is a powerful reminder that young people can become a voice in the generation and support their parents and make them proud. And it reveals that, greatness is not measured by how rich or how famous you can become, but greatness can be measured by how you honor the people that gave you life, which are your parents. And it is important to have that consciousness. And I think that Peter is in a good place to write this book, because he has spent years working with young people and he deeply understands what young people face. Like the confusion of not knowing the way forward, the pressure to conform to the society, and the frustration of limited opportunities. So this book is that manual that provides the pathway to help them to not only make their parents proud, but to be, kind of a voice in their generation. So it will challenge every reader to rise above their circumstances and to begin to live in a way that gives meaning, not just to their lives, but to the lives of people around them. And that is what makes this book so powerful, because it captures an incredible wisdom and practical ways that anybody can apply and become a voice in the generation and make his or her parents proud.
You're welcome back. To be able to make your parents proud, you say there are principles which cannot be bypassed.
That's right.
First, you talked about discovering your potential. You said discovering your uniqueness,
Yeah.
and obviously pushing beyond limits. Can you explain this for us to understand better?
Exactly. Making your parents proud comes with 8 principles. It should be very clear that our being here was not by our choice. When you look at the world today, you realize that there are, that we came from somewhere. Originally, there is an heaven, there's an earth, there's a heaven, there is the stratosphere. There's an atmosphere. There is,
Space.
there's space. There's a lot of things you can that can just let you to know that, okay, there is somebody behind creation. And so, because we came here on assignment. Before you were born, there is something you were born to do.
Okay.
I'm glad that I'm sitting on this, set with you, and maybe somebody else cannot really do what you're doing,
Okay.
and it's unique to you.
Okay.
I've never been able to interview somebody before on TV for a book,
Okay.
but you have done that severally, and you have done that so well. Why? Because that's your field.
Okay.
Every human being will make their parents proud in their field. If you will make your parents proud, it will be when you have discovered your purpose, you have discovered your uniqueness, you have discovered your potentialities. Because what is purpose? Purpose is the original intention for why something was created. Now, if for example, these are mics here right in front of me,
Okay.
and I'm talking, and the purpose of the mic is to amplify my voice.
Yeah.
Now, I will not use this mic as firewood to cook food, which
Funny.
it will means that I'm misusing it.
Yeah, that's true.
Once you have not known who you are,
Okay.
it will be difficult to make your parents proud. That's why the principle of discovering your purpose becomes a key thing when it comes to making your parents proud. Yeah. So, that's talking about purpose.
Yes.
Purpose pushes you to potential.
Okay.
What is potential? Potential is what you can do,
To
which
your
you have not yet done.
capability.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is what you are able, you can do, but yet it is still in you,
In you.
and you have to bring it into reality. Yeah. For example, there is somebody who is an author and does not know that he or she is an author. So the book dies. Dr. Miles Monroe once said the richest place in the world is a graveyard. Simply because in the graveyard, there are people who are buried with books in their mind, songs they never sang, and a good number of things that they would have released to the world.
They never did.
They never did. So if there is somebody who is supposed to be an architect or a town planner for Cameroon and died without never becoming a town planner, the nation is going to be wrongly constructed, and people will not be able to come there, so for touristic side or whatever. But then discovering purpose and finding your potential and standing up to it, forcing through the barriers, because whether you like it or not, making your parents proud comes with it a price.
And what's the price?
And that price
is all what you've mentioned, or is that so? No.
Yeah, all what I've mentioned is that price. Finding a way to be able to discover yourself.
Which is not easy at all.
Which is not easy at all.
Okay. Now that it is not easy, do we often need help?
Definitely. That's why you have books like Making Your Parents Proud.
Okay.
Whereby strategies are documented for you to be able to look through and find out, how do I discover my purpose? How do I find out who I am? And so this is not just a book. The Making Your Parents Proud is not just a book. Making Your Parents Proud is a system I'm trying to construct. Why am I saying that it's a system? Because gone are those days where you will just go to a bookstore, buy a book, read it, and drop it. What I'm trying to do with this book is, I don't want people to get the book, read it, and drop it. I want people to be able to get the book, and we are able to follow them up to see that they are getting the principles that are here and they are applying it.
Okay.
So to me, it's not about giving out 10,000 copies, which I'll be happy if 10,000 copies go out, if 1 million copies go out. It is being able to see that if 1 million copies go out, we are affecting, we are impacting
lives.
1 million people. So you should be able to tell me what Making Your Parents Proud is actually doing for you at the moment.
What you're saying is very inspiring, and a lot of people want to know more.
Yeah.
It is an invitation I'm giving out there for them to get a copy, so as to get more.
Yeah.
We're going to come back because I know you have a lot to say.
Yeah.
It's time for us to take our Vox Pop. Okay. And we are asking the people out there, what is it that you have learned from your parents that has shaped your life?
Okay.
Let's watch.
There are a lot of things I've learned from my parents, especially the virtue of seeing nothing as a problem. I think if you live a life of seeing nothing as a problem, you live long. And another thing is being contented with what you have. That is being happy where you are, patient in everything you do. I think that with all of these things are making me to succeed in life. And another one is my father used to be that kind of a person that will want you have to be smart at all times. You have to be awake. You have to be strong. You have to be strong for yourself. I think with all of this, you don't need this policy of leaning on me. When you have all of this policy, I think even the context in which we live in Cameroon, you have to live without any problem.
If there is anything that I learned from my parents, especially my mother, as I grew up, was the spirit of gratitude and also that of humility and generosity. My mother was an epitome of generosity, an epitome of humility. Despite all the odds, she braved injustice with humility and with gratitude. I will put it that way.
My parents have actually taught me how to be to live within my means, to live with what I have, not to follow other friends and maybe join groups that will not make me to succeed in life. So another point is that my parents have also taught me how to focus in life concerning my future plans, the plans that I have in the future, to be able to meet them and to see that they actually come true.
NKWAH Peters.
Yeah.
Now, you just heard a lot of people react to our Vox Pop.
Okay.
Okay. What is it that you have learned from your parents that has shaped your life?
One thing I've learned from my biological father, who raised me, that I think has greatly impacted my life, it's humility, the character of humility. He's 86, I think he's above 86 years old, right, currently. And his life has been much of a blessing to me. I've never seen him, really much into a problem.
Okay.
Why? Because he's a down-to-earth person. And because of that, he has attracted so many opportunities to himself and to us as his children. And that alone taught me a lesson that no matter how far you go in life, you should not be able to overcarry yourself or, make as if everything depends on that. As for my mom, I learned from my mom giving.
Okay.
She's a woman that will be able to give to anybody, anytime.
Thank you for this copy,
Yeah.
because you gave the copy free of charge.
All right. Exactly.
Okay.
So yeah, those are the two things. I've learned a lot.
Okay.
But for this set, let's leave it at those.
Okay,
yeah.
thank you. Let's talk about this aspect of parenting, because you know that what your children become tomorrow is as a result of their upbringing.
Exactly.
And they usually say the upbringing might mar or make
Sure.
the future of your children.
Sure.
This is a point that you highlighted. Can you elaborate on that?
Sure, I think I should do. We must understand this. The world is ruled by systems.
Okay.
And these systems is segmented into institutions. You have the institution of the family, you have the institution of the government, you have the institution of the church, which is religion, you have finance, and you can name the others. Now, family is the strongest institution in the world that supports all the other. The reason why nations, communities, individuals are in pain, if you want to blame it, it should not be on the government. It should be on the family. The world can be corrected in a twinkle of an eye, if I'm not exact, if it's not hyperbolic.
I think you're right.
Yeah, the
You're
world
right.
can be transformed in a twinkle of an eye if parents understand their rule back at home. Now, for example, there are instructions if I give you now, you will not be able to take it. But if your
Because
mom,
I'm already grown up.
you're grown up.
Yes.
But if your mom calls you and tell you, Susie, come here, you will like, oh, my mother is calling for me.
Okay.
Naturally, as an African woman, as an African child, you will like, okay, let me respect the call of my mom and try to see. So she has a kind of influence over you, no matter how grown up you are. There's a kind of influence your mom will definitely have on you. If she calls you and tells you, I don't like the fact that you're doing this, you're doing this, you're doing this. How about we do it this way and do it this way? And the way parenting was done in the generations behind us it is totally different from how parenting should be done today.
Is it because of the fact that there's this social media kind of, the young ones want to emulate what is being done abroad? I don't know.
Sure, social media has an influence
Okay.
in lives, in the lives of people. But let's get it back to the family.
Okay.
If you gave the right values to your children,
That's the word. The right values.
Whatever they saw on social media wouldn't have been something
An influence.
to influence them negatively.
Yeah.
So
I think so too.
You get that parents have a kind of role to play in the building of a nation, in the building of communities and families, that it is very unique to them.
Okay.
Okay.
You have said it all.
Okay.
I think you've said it all.
Okay.
We're going to, talk a little more about that.
Okay.
We'll continue after this break.
Okay.
Let's watch.
Can reading a book change the way you think or behave? Absolutely. A single book can shift your perspective totally. Like a single book can shift your thinking to a different dimension. When you're reading a book, it's not just about entertainment. Books carry people's experiences in life. So there are mistakes that they will have made in different stages in their life, in different areas in their life, that when you go through their books, when you go through their writing, it changes your perspective. And when you find yourself having to make those mistakes, or when you encounter such situations, you don't make the mistakes again. All right. So when you immerse yourself in the reading, you are in one point in quote, you're actually living that life. Okay, you're actually living those experiences. So let's say, for example, somebody took 10 years, 20 years to write a book, you reading that book within maybe a month, within a couple of weeks, you will absorb those experiences, all right, and it will transform you as if you are living through it. Another example, imagine you take a health book. A health book, for example, let me take this is Nature's Best for Babies, a book that helps you to nourish your babies healthily right from their first bite. Now, when you go through it, when you go through a book like this, you learn recipes, you learn how you can raise your child, you can raise your daughter, your son, you can raise your children to eat healthy. So those experiences, and of course, most authors will share based on their experiences. You can be able to tap that information and transform their life, not only externally, but right from within. And the more you go through books, the more you get to understand this, right? So my answer, absolutely. Books can change the way you think and how you behave. Like he has done it for me several times. There are many things that just because I read a book, just because I read something in the book, it just inspires me. And sometimes just reading the introduction or just reading the biography of the author or anything, it just inspires you, and sometimes it just pushes you into different directions. Sometimes you are thinking of doing something, but you realize that somebody has been doing something similar, and it inspires you to know you are not alone. And of course, it also pushes you to think critically. So absolutely, it can do that, and it does that.
Before we went on break, you were talking about parenting.
Yeah, parenting. It's a very serious problem in Africa. The way our parents raised us, maybe young parents of this generation or parents of this dispensation, should not do parenting as it was in the years behind. Why? Because children nowadays are being influenced by social media, like you were saying, and so they copy a lot of things on social media. In my book, I'm trying to talk about family collaboration between parents and children,
Yeah.
to be able to drive home with massive success.
Okay.
So, there was a time in your life that whatever your parents told you, you had to listen to it.
Okay.
That was a time where the formation in your life was supposed to be done. So if they let you loose at that time, you would have grown up as somebody with negative principles. People who embezzle today in government did not definitely learn that in government. People who end up in prostitution joints, people who are thieves, people who are doing all kinds of negative vibes around the world were not born with that. There was a time in their life they were really okay with themselves, and they just lacked somebody to rightly orientate them, rightly direct them.
Okay, maybe before we say au revoir or goodbye to our viewers today, tell us, how can they contact you in order to get a copy?
Okay, whether you are out of the country, you are in the country, or wherever you are in the world, definitely you can be able to have this book. You can always contact me on my personal line, 672-476766, 672-476766, and I'll be able to direct you based on the town where you are to be able to get a copy of the book.
Look into that camera and give them a reason why they should get a copy.
All right. Before I do that, I just want to thank you for taking out time to watch this particular episode. And the reason why I would like you to get a copy of this book, Making Your Parents Proud, is because this nation, Cameroon, or whatever nation you find yourself, is waiting for the potentials that are in you for manifestation. Your purpose is crying, and people want to be blessed by the things you can do. You could be a journalist, you could be a doctor, you could be whatever you can be, a business person, whatever. You will read this book, and the fire to bring that thing out is going to be available. And so, get a copy of this book. Let's not only make our parents proud, let's make our family proud, let's make our community proud, let's make our nation proud. There is a future you're supposed to construct, and you have to take responsibility of it. Pick a copy of this book and bring out the real you in you.
Okay. Wow, beautiful. Pick a copy and bring out the real you in you. Thank you for watching this edition of the program. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you so much for having me. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Yeah.